sharing 15 rare, unique and beautiful koi fish varieties with you. That is what this video is all about. Let's get started quickly with the first variety. We kick off with a very special koi, which also won the prize for most unique koi at the Belgian Koi Show in 2021. This is a Ginrin Showa with a very nice head pattern and an impressive skin quality. The colors are very natural and bright. A Showa has a black base and is actually born as an entirely black koi. Over time the white and red develops itself and the pattern becomes visible. On this Showa there is Ginrin added to that. Ginrin are the shiny scales that you can see spread out over the entire body. This is why we call this unique koi a Ginrin Showa. Another special koi variety is the Benny Kikokuryu. This variety is also referred to as the dragon koi fish. Typical for this variety is that it has a shiny skin and hence it is a metallic koi. You can most easily spot it in the fins and the tail, but also on the head area. The base color of this variety is white with black markings on it. Benny stands for red if you translate it from Japanese, and hence you can see the red markings, which often look orange as well. Very common for this variety is that the pattern over time slightly changes. Until the koi are about 5 to 7 years old, the pattern will become more stable. Next up variety is a Kinki Utsuri. This variety is a Ki Utsuri and Ki stands for yellow in that name. The base of this variety is black with yellow markings on it. There are several other Utsuri varieties, like the Shiro Utsuri, which is white and black, and the Hi Utsuri, which is red and black. But then this is actually more than just a Ki Utsuri, because it also has a metallic shine visible over its skin. We call it kin, making it a Kinki Utsuri. A nice detail to know when this variety is born is that it actually is completely black in the first days. The yellow will appear later. And the better the quality of the Kinki Utsuri, the higher the contrast of black and yellow needs to be. A very good quality Kinki Utsuri should almost have no small black spots visible in the yellow areas. But believe me, that is almost impossible to find. If you know the Kumonryu variety, you already know that these are special. But this is a Matsukawa Baka. A Matsukawa Baka is the scaled variant of the Kumonryu. It is a black and white koi and it is quite magical. You have to know that the Matsukawa Baka can change into anything. The black can disappear or become more intense during the lifetime of the koi, and anything can happen. You could say that the Matsukawa Baka is never finished, but that is also the reason why this variety is so unique. You probably understand now that selecting a good Matsukawa Baka is not without risk. There are so many details you have to pay attention to. When this variety is young, you also want to make sure that there is not too much black on the skin already. Because over time, more and more black will most likely start to appear. And of course, on this channel I want to give you more examples of this unique koi variety. Just to let you experience how different a Matsukawa Baka can be. Some are already entirely black and others have very nice scalation patterns. Like this Ginrin Matsukawa Baka. Every scale is covered with a wrap of black. It looks like a nice reticulation pattern around each scale, which gives the koi a kind of 3D effect, making it even more unique. The chance of getting a Matsukawa Baka like this one are near to zero. And then others are like this exemplar. Below the lateral line they have intense black visible and above it almost has none. To me this looks way less heavy, because more white is visible. Even though this variety is so simple with only black and white colors, it is still a beautiful, unique koi variety to see. When talking about unique koi varieties, this is one of them for sure. I've shown this variety before in this video, however I do want to show this Benny Kikokuryu as well. There is a major difference between the one I showed earlier and this one. That is the intensity of the black color, called sumi in Japanese. This Benny Kikokuryu is very light colored. It almost has no black visible. And that is very typical for this koi variety. The black keeps changing over time. It is called Henkasumi. It changes from a light phase to darker phases and everything that lays in between. The variety is oftenly mistaken as Doitsu Kujaku, and that is understandable as the pattern and scalation is basically the same thing. The Henkasumi that is visible over a Benny Kikokuryu even when it is in its light form, reveals the real variety. You can spot the light shade of greyish color visible over the white areas, meaning that this koi is a Beni Kikokuryu. Oshiba Shigur stands for autumn leaves on the water, if you translate it from Japanese. The brown represents the fallen leaves that float on top of the water in the autumn season. It is a crossbred of the Chagoi, which is entirely brown, and the Soragoi, which is entirely grey. But look at this Oshiba Shigur. It also has shiny scales visible. And that is the reason why we brought it to our list of most unique koi varieties. The base of the Oshiba Shigur is grey, and sometimes you can see a reticulation pattern of a solid black line around each scale. A nice detail to know about this variety is their very kind character. They are tame and very willing to come to your hand when you are feeding them. The next up variety might be seen as a huge goldfish for some, but for koi enthusiasts, they will know this variety is unique. Very unique, and you won't see it often. This is the orange Yogen. Basically an orange one-color koi with a metallic shine visible. That metallic shine visible is for example in the fins. We call it pika, and it stands for the visible shiny lines on each ray of the pectoral fins. Nice to know is that this variety easily grows quite huge. The variety Asagi in itself already is a special variety, but this Asagi exceeds special. It is unique. Asagi have a nice net pattern visible of blue scales on their back. On the lower parts of their body they have orange visible, also visible in their tails, fins and gill plates. The nicer the net pattern or articulation on the fish, the more lovely the Asagi will be. And now take a look at this Asagi again. Look at how special the pattern is. Every scale has a small darker area visible. It is beautiful. When you want to obtain a nice Asagi, one thing to look out for is that none of the orange comes above the lateral line of the koi. Also no orange should be visible on the head or between the eyes. Just take the orange of this Asagi as example, which is truly unique. The variety I showed you before was a very unique Asagi. This variety I would classify as a He Asagi. For this variety the base color is entirely red, hence the name He, which means red. Each scale is marked with a solid black line that looks like little moons. I have actually never before seen a He Asagi as bright as this one I was able to capture here. It has a very sharp articulation with solid black lines, and the red is super bright colored. To obtain a high quality He Asagi, you have to look for an Asagi that is as bright red as possible. The brighter the better. And then there are different types of Asagi-like patterns. Sometimes the entire scale becomes black, and sometimes only half moons are visible like this one. The half moons that are visible are most unique, and in my opinion also most beautiful. This is the scaled variant of a Hariwaka. If it had no scales, it would be called the Deutsch Hariwaka, which is also more common. A Hariwaka has a white base with yellow markings on it. The wider the base is, the nicer this variety will look, because the contrast becomes higher between yellow and white. To get a nice Hariwaka, you should look out for the yellow that is as light as possible. Yellow will become darker over time. The lighter the yellow is, the less likely it is that it will turn into orange, which is actually a common problem with this variety. On the scales, fins and tails you can clearly see that this Hariwaka has a metallic shine visible. This koi here is small, but it is unique for sure. It is a Deutsch skin Showa with very bright colors and surely not something you will be able to see daily. A Showa is a variety that has a black base with on that black base white and red colors visible. This is not just a regular Showa, but it is a Deutsch skin Showa. Because this variety has no scales, we call it Deutsch. And the kin stands for the metallic shine that this Showa has. Not only is this variety already unique, but the pattern on this exemplar makes it even more unique. When you translate kabuto from Japanese, it means helmet. The kabuto has a darker glowing skin compared to a Mukashi Ogon, and it is a metallic variety. Hence you can see the skin shine, and when looking closely you can also spot pika in the pectoral fins. Even in this video it is visible. Kabuto are not very popular koi. However, over the last couple of years I tend to see more of them offered in stores. The challenge remains in finding a very nice looking kabuto. like this one displayed on a koi shell. This is a Benny Kikukuryu that is unique since it almost has no black visible. You would almost think that it is a Kikusui, which is actually a white koi with orange markings. But it surely is not, since the pectoral fins do show some black visible in the middle, which we call Motoguru. I marked this Benny Kikukuryu as a Kindai, which can be translated to modern. It indicates the koi has a modern pattern with almost no black visible, while the more traditional Showa pattern has heavy black patterns visible. The uniqueness and quality of this Ginrin Asagi tells enough. This Asagi is a very bright and special one. It is the best example of a Narumi Asagi. The Narumi Asagi has dark indigo in the center, which is surrounded by paler blue around the scale. This Asagi also has Ginrin visible. The shiny edges of the scales indicate it. Everything on this Asagi is perfect. The orange lays nicely below the lateral line and is very deep in color. Also, there is no red visible between the eyes or on the head area, but only on the cheeks. A unique Ginrin Narumi Asagi that is perfect in all aspects. An entirely solid black koi. This is the variety Karasugoi. The deeper and more intense the black color is, the better. It looks very much like a wild carp that you can find in nature. The Karasugoi, however, is more intense and deeper black. It is perhaps not very special in pattern, but you do not see them often, making them a unique koi variety to finish our overview with. I have showed you 15 rare koi varieties that I wanted to share with you. Please let me know in the comments which one is your favorite and also why that is your most favorite koi. And I hope that I did give you a nice look into some of the most unique koi varieties in the world of Nishiki-goi. And if you want to see more videos about koi varieties, then make sure you subscribe and I will see you again in one of my new videos. For now, thank you for watching.